welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we're watching and reacting to LD Alajuelense versus CD Olimpia, the 2025 CONCACAF Central American Cup Semifinals first leg at Alajuelense. Alajuelense, the defending champion, trying to beat the team that if they lose, or this is the one where this makes or breaks their tournament, in my opinion. They could beat Real España or Xelajú again, I would say. If Alajuelense gets the final, they might just bullshit a third straight trophy. Olimpia trying to finally make their way back to being the Central American champions. Well, their first Central American Cup. Technically, of course, you could say, well, they've won CONCACAF leagues before, but technically a different tournament, but not really. But either way, I'd say the CONCACAF League is mostly the Central American Cup comparatively to the Caribbean Cup. They sort of modified the CONCACAF League to become the Central American Cup, as where they made a new tournament for the Caribbean Cup. So that's why the Champions Curse was still a thing. Either way, Olympia's finally back, and they're in the semifinal against Alajuelense. LD Alajuelense contra CD Olimpia. La Copa Centroamericana de la CONCACAF Semifinales Partido Ida. How we doing, Sean? How we doing? We're ready to go. Of course, the Caribbean Cup game got postponed due to Tropical Storm Melissa. Lots of rain in the Dominican Republic as of now that led to this, or led to the postponement to next week, which doesn't really make sense to me considering if you look at the track of the storm and how strong it could get either way. And also the second leg of Mount Pleasant versus Defense Force. That's also going to be trouble. But either way, that's just the hurricane expert me talking instead of a football guy talking. The other semifinal was a 1-1 draw between Real España and Xelajú. Of course, the play-in, both 1-0 wins, Cartagenas and Sporting San Miguelito winning the first legs, those play-ins. Of course, those two teams, those play-ins, are teams trying to get to the Champions Cup, not move on in this tournament. Those were the quarterfinal losers. You should stream the El Clasico. This is CONCACAF, not La Liga. With that being said, starting 11s before I show my NFL pick sheet. For Alajuelense, Ortega, Alexi Gamboa, Celso Borges, Paz, Fernando Piñar. The midfield two of Alejandro Bran and Salazar. The attacking midfield three of Lucumi, Joel Campbell, and Michel. And up top, Ronaldo Cisneros. For Club CD Olimpia, we have Edric Menjivar in goal. The back four of Guiti, Hernandez, Quiros, and Rivas. The midfield four of Michael Chirinos, Alvarez, Moulet, and Jose Pinto. And up top, we have Houston Arboleda and Jorge Benguche for Olimpia. How are we doing? Well, I'm doing MLS playoff games on Sunday. Saturday's World Series game 2. And if it's at Atlas, I don't have TUDNA anymore anyway because YouTube TV took it away. So even if I wanted to. Now if it's at Chivas, it's on Peacock. I probably could do it if there wasn't no World Series or MLS playoffs, but it is what it is. It is what it is. NFL pick sheet this week. Chargers over the Vikings. Chargers are winning, by the way. I filled this out before the game even started, but since this was so late, it is at Chivas. Well, because of the World Series, I have to cover the Sunday games for the playoffs. And because this World Series has the Blue Jays, it's not good for my views, but it's a passion project. So it's history and it's passion. So World Series. Atlanta over Miami. Cincinnati over the Jets. Patriots over Cleveland. Eagles over the Giants. Bills over the Panthers. I'll deal with that later. Chicago over the Ravens, 49ers over the Texans, Buccaneers over the Saints, Broncos over the Cowboys, Colts over the Titans, Steelers over the Packers, and Chiefs over Washington. All right, there we go. I get you around. I'm a Dodgers fan going to watch World Series, and not lost is my team. Well, best of luck to y'all, but let's go Blue Jays. You already have your ring. I haven't seen the Blue Jay. The only World Series I've seen the Blue Jays in is not re-airings, but YouTube versions of 92 and 93. So, best of luck, but hopefully the Jays win. None against y'all, but y'all have yours anyway. Thanks for beating the Yankees, but y'all have yours anyway. I just hope it's a good series. I think we're good. I think the Jays are better than y'all expect, but Real Madrid, talk about Real Madrid versus Barcelona, Real Madrid wins. Teams have walked out. We're getting ready to go here at Alajuelense. Come on, Bill, says Dillon. Of course. Bills. The Bills might win a Super Bowl. The Jets will win nothing. Bills, you have a chance to be happy. Trust me, I know how that feels. As a Toronto sports fan. You have a chance to be happy, which is better than knowing you're not going to be happy. So, Bills. Ironically enough, you could say the Bills are a Toronto team by extension, but either way, Bills. You ain't winning anything if you root for the Jets. Joe Namath is old as shit now. He ain't walking through that door. If he is, he's probably going to be drunk. But either way, another ring for Ohtani. I heard about the NBA gambling ring. I heard about it. I'm not surprised at all. Really. I'm not surprised at all. And it's kind of hilarious. Like, ESPN tried to, just subtly take away their ESPN bet ad while they were talking about it. I'm like, that's legal betting, but still. The fact that the thing that gets me is, people could bet. I'm not saying legally especially, but we shouldn't be easily just putting betting out for people to be like, hey, here's a promo code to use ESPN Bet and get more money on your first deposit. Ortega and goal, back for a Paz, Gamboa, Salazar, Piñar. I don't get it. Campbell, Michel, Borges, and Braun, and Cisneros and Lukumi. I'm not going to be surprised. Oh, he finally got arrested. The ref that everybody thought had something to do with stuff like this. He finally got arrested. Okay, good. Amazing. LD Quito 3-0 right now over Palmeiras. There's a second leg. Rafael Lopez of Mexico's the center ref. Can anybody tell me? Well, I can't. Is he bad? Is he obviously bad? Because I don't remember anything of him being bad. Not off the top of my head, at least. Enrique Santander is the VAR referee. An all-Mexican crew. LDU Quito going to Libertadores final over Palmeiras? That's going to be tough. Especially if no away goals. Menjivar in goal. Rivas, Quiroz, Hernandez, Guiti. Pinto, Alvarez, Moulet, Chirinos, and up top, Benguche and Arboleda. Which, that basically just means it is a one-legged tie, but you know what? Screw it. LDU Quito, I want them to win the Libertadores. I want them to win. As I want Cruz Azul to go to the Challenger Cup. Cruz Azul looks better than they did when they got 7-0 by the Sounders, but you know what? Let's go LDU Quito. Do the impossible so you could lose to Cruz Azul in December. Playing forward. Olimpia clears the ball away. Back to Alajuelense. Campbell with a shot. Wide. Instantly almost gets one there. Who's the central ref? The center ref is... Damn it. Why does CONCACAF not put their refs on the freaking website? Oh, there we go. Jesus Rafael Lopez Valle is the referee. There it is. Center ref. Jesus Rafael Lopez Valle. That was his full legal name, I guess. Ecuadorian football is truly coming along. Clueless. So the center ref is clueless. Okay, this is going to be fun then. He's not even relevant Liga MX. That's probably, well, that's not good. But sent to a Central American Cup semifinal. Okay, that makes, well, it is CONCACAF. That actually kind of does make sense, actually. I guess they're going to save good referees for the final. Maybe. Maybe. Katia Garcia for the final. She's actually a really good ref, though. Katia Garcia is a really good ref, though. She might be the best in CONCACAF. I'm not going to lie. Because they barely use LFAF anymore. They barely use LFAF anymore, so can I even say he's the best ref in CONCACAF now when they barely even use him in general? It's like they were mad he was good at the World Cup and they just stopped using him. I heard he's been doing some reffing in Saudi. Well, shit, if he wants the bag, I don't blame him at all. 2:21. Nil-nil. 0-0. Alajuelense, can they do anything at home? Olimpia definitely right now would be the better team of the two, but Alajuelense is a defending champion, even though they don't look like it. Not for the most part. But then again, they played chicken with a champion's curse last year and still won the tournament again. So even worse, and do it again? I don't know. Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups. We already were talking about that. It's crazy. Chauncey Billups is a head coach and got arrested for gambling. I wonder, he must have been doing that before he was the head coach of the Blazers, right? Because he just got hired, didn't he? I need the Oilers to win my bet, Rory. Starting to think Bouchard's a total rat, says Rory. When did you pop in? Somebody said your name and you just popped in. I disagree. He doesn't play for Florida. Whatever he did, I'm sure it's not as bad as whatever Florida would try to do or what they've been doing. Could be worse. They could be a Florida Panther. Playing forward. Send me a highlight of what he did. Ortega with a goal kick. Oh. It depends on what the slash looked like, but ramming somebody into the boards, okay, that's a little bit too far. For an October game, for a game in October, it's kind of hard to... Ramming somebody to the boards is kind of questionable in May. October? I feel like it's a bit too early for that. I mean, the slash is against the rules, but was it incidental or was it just like that? Like you could just tell it depends. Shot saved. Like if the slash was like that, like you just came down on somebody's wrists, okay. If it was incidental and like it was just they were tied up and it was like it happened, it's different. If he just came down with a stick on somebody's wrists or arms, okay, that's different. Or even body. That's different. But like if it was like exorbitant, like, and it looks like the lights went out and Alajuelense, okay, it's fine. The lights are back. He was pissed. He slashed him not on accident. Okay, so it sounds more like okay. Okay, that's bad then. Also in October, that seems more like a playoff. Fair enough. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Good point. And that's going to be a free kick for Alajuelense. Alajuelense is looking like the better team so far. Seventh minute. What I wonder, did the ref call both? Here's the question I have. Did the ref call both? Or at least one of them? Did the ref call them? Like, I've seen slashes that were so extravagant not get called. Very rugged game to start. Lots of fouls already. Hey. It's a semifinal. I mean, it's a semifinal. Alajuelense versus Olimpia is probably the biggest cross Central American rivalry anyway. And it's CONCACAF. And it's a semifinal. Like, are we shocked? Like, all things considered, Alajuelense knows Olimpia is probably better than them right now, as of now. They're trying to get to a final. It's a big rivalry, cross-country rivalry of club teams. Of course, 8 minutes in. What'd you come in expecting? Them to play Red Rover and give each other cookies? Like, is that what you expected? You don't know ball. If you expected them to, like, just have a tea party and play tag, dude, you don't know CONCACAF ball. Come on. Like, other teams, it's still a semifinal, but if it was like Real España, Xelajú, okay, then it would pique my interest. But this, no, I expected it to be a bit tough, a bit rough and tumble. I mean, Olimpia to Camper, either way. Cross in, Olimpia, header, and out for a throw. I still think Alajuelense slightly been the better team in the moment, though. In the moment tonight, like actually performance-wise, they've been the better team right now. Throw in. Seems to me Alajuelense wants it more. Now they're playing at home, so that does kind of change the numbering or whatever. Makes you wonder. Corner for Olimpia. First really big offensive chance they've had, and it's still set pieces. 10 minutes in. Cross in. Header. Oh. Good steal. Here's a chance. Pinto. Goal. 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 0-1. Oh my. Oh my. Jose Pinto bounces on that ball, just takes a shot. 0-1. Olimpia. Jose Pinto runs at the rebounding ball, picks it back up. Oh, it lands at Pinto. Is that a handball on Chirinos? That might be checked on VAR. That might be coming back. The ball bounces into the arm of Chirinos before he passes it on to Pinto. Is it incidental, or are they going to take it away? I mean, the ball was kicked at his arm. What was he supposed? And his arm was out already as the tackle was coming. So it's not like he pulled it out to keep it alive. It might be turned over. We might be back to 0-0. Why is everyone excited about Messi renewing to 2028, acting like it's been a success? We all know he's never going to win Champions Cup or MLS Cup. Here's the thing. Messi's still in MLS, and I think it's more about the no goal, handball. So we're back to 0-0, 0-0. Honestly, rightfully so. Maybe. Understandable. Any offensive handball is called. The curse of the supporters' shield. Yeah. It's more understandable, but it was more the fact that what could. Yeah, I was thinking it was probably going to get called back, and I said rightfully so. But again, it's looking at the situation of, was he cheating or was it just physics? Like, I get, well, hell, even defensive handballs are called all the time, even if it's incidental. But I would, personally, that's just me saying, hey, maybe the incidental one shouldn't be punished. Like, there's a line between cheating and a line between, hey, physics means my arm is out and it already was there, and I kind of got cheated by the defender instead of, or the offensive player, depending on the situation. So maybe I'm saying there should be a gray area-ish. I don't know. Do that what you will. I don't think you could say that. Fair enough. Good point. Somebody's going to go after you for that one. 13th minute, 0-0. So tomorrow we got World Series Game 1. Saturday we got Game 2. Sunday we got Formula 1 Mexican Grand Prix, just live. Because basically an hour after that's over, we have an MLS match. I think that's Vancouver. I don't like it, but it's how it's getting called across the globe. Exactly. I mean, as I said, I don't like it either. So 2 MLS games on Sunday on the off day, plus the Formula 1 Mexican Grand Prix just as a live. I think I should be able, unless there's a red flag, I should be able to at least do the Grand Prix live, then go to the MLS game, do the MLS game, and have that ready to go within the hour. And then, of course, we have the Portland-San Diego game. So Vancouver, Dallas, Portland, San Diego. Yeah. We get to do Sunday because that's an off day of the World Series. You're welcome. 14th minute. The travel day from Toronto to LA. Well, for both teams, not just the Blue Jays, but playing forward. Here comes Olimpia. Could they get it back? Here's a chance. And he runs into the defenders. Pinto gives the ball away at the last second. 0-0, 0-0. Arboleda keeps it, crosses it, and out for a goal kick. Do you think it's odd Messi renewed despite Alba and Busquets and potentially Suarez retirement? Does Messi want to get humiliated, lose 6-0 by Liga MX team in Champions Cup in Mexico? Here's the funny part. DePaul is still there. Why are we forgetting that? And there's a lot of younger South American players who will play at Miami to play with Messi. So they'll be able to fill those holes. And the only player who's actually been good for most of the years that Messi's been there is Jordi Alba. That's like the real only loss. Busquets has been a pylon for 2 years, and Suarez has needs of a geriatric. He should be playing football with a walker with tennis balls on it, especially when Messi's on the pitch. For some reason, he plays his best when Messi's not playing. That's when you see flashes, so that's weird. So I don't think it is a bad thing, per se, that Busquets and Suarez are retiring. Now, Alba, that's going to be tougher. But there will be people who, on lesser money, would like to play with Messi as younger South American players who are very talented. I mean, they've already done that throughout this time to fill out the roster. But it also, I mean, Robert Lewandowski, there's a rumor he might go to Miami. And he's kind of on the outs at Barcelona. And I'm sure Lewandowski at this point, even though he's probably not good enough, some people, Hansi Flick doesn't think he's good enough for Barcelona at this point, which is funny because he was, either way, he's definitely probably good enough for Miami, and he doesn't need a walker with tennis balls on it. So, and Rodrigo de Paul is still there, by the way. Now, if they keep Mascherano as the manager, that might be a little bit crazy, but all things considered, playing forward 0-0, settle. I don't. Well, blame the FMF for getting rid of the Copa MX for Leagues Cup. And then blame the teams for not giving a shit about the Leagues Cup. Because those Leagues Cup spots are basically, well, one of them you could say, hey, that would have been a Copa MX spot. But it's not. Because we don't have a cup. Because our federation would rather play Leagues Cup. So blame them. Blame them. And the whole league still plays the Leagues Cup. It's not like MLS where they even half the teams to make it more even and fair and have more MLS versus Liga MX games. Until the semis. And you could still technically have them in the semis and finals. It's just never happened that way, even in the new format. Because the Mexican teams don't care. So why? They're playing every game in the USA, which doesn't help either, I guess. But, you know, blame the FMF for that one. Plays forward. But Messi's staying, so does he want to be around his friends like that? Like, he knew they were going to retire at some point before him. I'm sure he thought that. And he knew, hey, first half of my career, my friends will be next to me. And he still has DePaul, by the way. Why do we keep forgetting about him? Why do we forget his on-field bodyguard? Why do we keep forgetting about that? Why? Either way, 19th minute. It's like, wow. Like, DePaul must feel like a ghost with how people talk or don't talk about him at Miami. There's a lot of fans down in Mexico that are pissed the Copa MX hasn't come back. I agree. I mean, the Copa MX was fun. That was fun. Playing forward. Like that one time, who was it? Shit, 2019. Who was the lower? I'm trying to remember. They wore orange. Was it Cancun? Playing forward. That's out for a goal kick. Was it Cancun? That played America? I think it could have been. It could have been Cancun, I think. Either way. Copa MX was fun. Like, low-key, like, it was enjoyable. It might have been the most enjoyable out of all three of the Voyagers Cup and Open Cup and Copa MX. Like, Copa MX seemed to have some, like, weird buff to it. Like, you want to talk about magic of the cup? There you go. Because Voyagers Cup is pretty damn obvious normally. Like the 3 MLS teams normally are the ones who advance and Forge. And now Forge is starting to regularly beat MLS teams, but mostly because Toronto and Montreal are ass. But what happened when they played a real MLS team? Love Forge, but what happened? Watch them bring Sergei Roberto, and he'll play worse than Weingart. Nobody could be worse than Weingart. You're crazy. Weingart is ass. No, I think Sergei Roberto is better than Weingart. You're lying. 20th minute. Brought down by Campbell, and that's going to be picked up by Menjivar. Goal kick. I mean, true, but that is true, but you're like, well, Messi wants to play with his friends, acting like he doesn't even exist. Acting like man, I remember when people were memeing him to be like, hey, that's Messi's on-field bodyguard. '21st minute. Maybe not Weingart, but it'll be worse than Ian Fry. Well, I agree with that. Like, the thing I don't understand, I know Ian Fry blew out his ACL like 4 times, but the fact that that's one of the things for me, it's like, why does Mascherano not play Fry? Like, he obviously is better than Weingart. Now, you could say Roberto be worse than Fry. We're back in this position, sure, with a little bit better output, but fair. I mean, I'm not surprised. That's basically my thoughts. I'm not surprised there's a giant gambling ring when it comes to I mean, I'm not surprised. I can't really tell you anything else that I'm just not surprised about the situation. I mean, '23rd minute. But 23rd minute. 0-0, settle is settle. Alajuelense are looking really good right now. They're taking a punch to Olimpia. I think Olympia's game plan now is survive the away leg and then win at home. I think they're starting to change their mindset here. Playing forward, Olimpia steals. Oilers take the lead 2-1. Enrique in front. Monty can't do anything about that screen in front. I know Sam Montembeau is a good goaler, but we need another. I heard Devon Levi is available. He ain't Buffalo. Enrique tipped it in. I know Sam Montembeau is a good goaler, but we need another world-class goalie. I know Devon Levi is available. He ain't Buffalo. He ain't Buffalo. Yeah, no, they got bodied. Do they even need a second leg? I don't think so. Like, seriously, I'm going to be honest. If the Hurricane knocks out the second leg in Jamaica, do they even need a second leg? I think 5-1 tells you exactly who's going to the final. Like, if it was in Jamaica, well, then it wouldn't be a problem because they'd be going to Trinidad. And either way, Jets aren't any better tonight. Can't even score tonight. #25th 25th minute. Yeah, I'm still laughing at it. I'm laughing at the Sam Montembeau joke. How we doing, son? I was laughing at the Sam Montembeau joke where I tried to do a horrible Quebec accent. That's what I was laughing at. It's still hilarious. Besides, who the hell would want Devin Levi to replace? They already have Jakub Dobesh. It doesn't make any sense. Because I heard the joke somewhere else, and then either way. Like, why? They already have Jakub Dobesh. I mean, if you don't want Montembeau, they have Dobesh. Like, what the problem? All in good fun regardless. Okay. But I wasn't laughing at the Jets. I have no reason to. The Leafs suck ass this year. I don't even know if the Leafs are going to make the playoffs. I don't know if we will. So, I can't talk. 27th minute. I thought I was going to be able to get Steelers fan to cheer for the real blue and white instead of the Lightning. And then the Leafs said, no, we're going to suck. And the Leafs said, no, we're going to suck. We might not even make the playoffs this year. Try to get Steelers fan to root for us now. Well, thank you, Leafs. Because, I mean, Tampa sucks now, and I guarantee you that the fact that they were rooting for Tampa was coming from the fact that Tampa was really good. Understandable, but when you have a chance to root for the real blue and white, you do it, not the Lightning. And a Seattle empty net. They're losing this one and another one. Damn. 28th minute, 0-0. I don't know. But then again, at least I feel like Steelers fans going to be rooting for the Jays for the rest of their life. Because, I mean, let's be honest. The Jays are going to be better than the Pirates and the White Sox for eternity. For eternity. I didn't say playoffs good. I just said better. I said the Jays are going to be better than the Pirates and the White Sox for eternity. I didn't say playoff good. There'll be times when we're not there. There'll be times when we're not there. Still better, though, even if we miss the playoffs. From now on, of course. I mean, even when they missed the playoffs until 2015, I mean, there were some good Jays teams in that grouping. Like when Roy Halladay was there was still good Jays teams. They just couldn't make the playoffs because there was one wild card. They were in the AL East. And the Red Sox and Yankees were amazing. So, I really think Chris Richards is the best defender in CONCACAF. Crystal Palace looked lost in defense without him. I would agree with that. Good for Quito, though. Yeah, good for them. I hope they win the Libertadores so they could play Cruz Azul in December. So Cruz Azul could win. That'd be good. That would be good. Okay, playing forward, 30th minute. Playing forward, 30th minute. Don't underestimate them. They're not a Brazilian team, though. Cruz Azul's been better since that 7-0 getting slapped by Seattle moment. Like, I don't think Cruz Azul would beat either of the Brazilian teams, but I think they could beat Quito. I think they could. I have no idea. 30th minute. I think they could. I cannot believe. Yeah, that might be underrating them, but they are on a red card. Oh, it was 90 plus 6. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Flamengo leads Racing Club 1-0, though, so that's not surprising. Who am I kidding? Flamengo's going to win the final and play Cruz Azul, and, well, I don't know. Either way, playing forward. Who's won Central American Cup? Whoever wins this tie. I don't think Alajuelense loses. If they could beat Olimpia, they don't lose to Real España or Xelajú. If Olimpia wins, well, they were always going to win the way they've been playing. Habs responds 3-2 now. Well, good for them. Let's look at Liga MX. I mean, I've kind of dropped off a little bit. 5th place. Okay, Cruz Azul's dropped off a little bit too, actually, from the last time I checked. Okay, no, Quito might beat them too. That damn storm. Sabao had a game today. Well, I mean, I didn't realize that was going to happen because CONCACAF basically made the decision right when about like 2 hours before the game started. But I didn't realize that tropical storm was getting so big rain bands wise already. I'm very sure the way that happened, I'm very sure. Van de Putten on for Piñar. I'm very sure that tropical storm. I knew tropical storm Melissa was in the news. I didn't know how big it had gotten. Like, as in the rain field. I knew about it. I knew about it as an invest. I didn't realize how big it had gotten. It felt like it got big enough to knock out that game like that. I didn't realize. Like, I was like, it hasn't made a turn yet. It hadn't even got close to Jamaica yet. It's stationary. I didn't realize how big the cloud field grew like that. That just happened over the past day and a half or half day, over a half day, 75/75 of a day. But I knew about the storm once when it was an invest, when it was a tropical wave. I'm talking about how big it gotten that knocked out the Sabao game. 3-3, Cole Caulfield ties it for the Habs. I think they deserved it, and I said as much when I predicted the final during the Sunday during the Formula One Grand Prix before I was live for the Blue Jays game because I couldn't be live for either way. I was watching the Jays force a Game 7 in the ALCS. History for me. But Morocco deserved it. I said they were well built. If they could stop the best scoring team in the whole tournament, they're well built to beat Argentina, and they did. They did exactly what I thought they would do. So, yeah, they deserve it wholeheartedly. I'm proud of them. They deserve it. They did exactly what I thought they would do. Morocco's got a damn good youth program, and they'll have some damn good players from these youth teams at the World Cup, I'm sure. at the main World Cup and the AFCON, I'm sure. Be good for the main Moroccan team, who's already good. So we'll see what happens there. I think Morocco, the main team, should win the AFCON, and then we'll see how the World Cup goes. They should do well, though, or at least hold their own. We'll see what the group they get is, though. But, no, they deserve it, 100%. Well, at least you didn't have an ex named Katrina. You didn't even know Melissa was a hurricane name until this week. I mean, nobody's going to be able to forget by the time it's over with because it's about to be a Category 5 going into Jamaica and the islands. So, if you look at the models. So, it's not going to be pretty. Nobody's going to be able to forget the name Melissa. It's probably going to get retired at the end of the year. But it's not like Katrina. That's your fault. Now, if you were with somebody who was named Katrina and she was like a hurricane, it's your fault. Now, that one's your fault. Everybody knows Katrina. Not just me. I know what the hurricane name lists are. But Ryan, if you had a daughter, you name her Emily. Well, yeah, so. Okay, I have no leg to stand on. But the name Emily never got retired, even though it probably should have in 2005. Okay, I still have no leg to stand on, though. He's doing fine. He's just busy. 37th minute. Most pitiful. Caught, punched, cleared away. I would say Cleveland is the most pitiful, then the Montreal Impact, then the Clippers, then the Jets, then the Mariners. I mean, the Mariners are probably the most painful. Thankfully, they still are. But I wouldn't say they're pitiful. They're just painful. There's a difference. Cleveland's pitiful. Montreal's pitiful. The Clippers are pitiful. The Jets, that's painful. Mariners are painful, but I think the Mariners are more painful than the Jets. But either way, now if it's the New York Jets, they're just pitiful. Yep. The Habs might actually win the Atlantic this year. No. I mean, I knew the Habs could do well this year. I didn't realize they would do this good. But it also helps the Leafs suck ass. And it seems Florida, everywhere they turn, one of their best players gets hurt. Which, not going to say I feel sorry for him. I don't. It seems like Florida's paying the cup tax, which we all knew would happen. And honestly, I think we can all agree we don't feel sorry for Florida. Not at all. So may it continue. Tampa sucks. Ottawa should be good. I mean, hey, if the Leafs are going to have a bad year, this might be the best year to have one. If we're going to be real. They might still just make the playoffs because of the Panthers paying the cup tax and the Lightning being trash and the Bruins being trash and rebuilding. Still being a boys club. But I could totally see it. I could see 3 Canadian teams being the top 3 of the Atlantic. I could see it. Or at least 3 out of the 4. Being the top 3 out of 4. Or being in the top 4. And one of them being a wild card. But I could see it. Habs probably winning the division at this point. They seem like the most complete Atlantic team right now. Unless they hit a swoon and the Leafs really get red hot and learn from this, which they won't. Yeah, I think the Habs at this point, where it's going, I think the Leafs, at least with the fact that a lot of the other teams out of the Atlantic are weak, we should make the playoffs in that case. It won't be a pretty playoff run, but either way, I think the Habs might just win the Atlantic as of now. Now, of course, it's just October, but the Habs look really good. Better than I expected. I expected good things. I did not expect this. Did you not watch my predictions video? Yes, I do. I see them winning the damn thing. They're actually a contender, and they're actually hot at the right time. They started hot, they finished hot, they swooned a little bit in the middle. I think whoever wins that LAFC Vancouver game conference semi is going to be the team who wins the MLS Cup. Like, I don't think Philly. And that's going to go out for a goal kick. Now, I'm not saying Philly's a bad team. They ain't Vancouver LAFC, though. Wow, that's hilarious. We know. Yay. We're using that joke. You're like the 30th person I've seen say it. Run it to the ground, why don't you? Playing forward, Olimpia. Yes, I am. But see, here's the thing about the Vancouver Whitecaps. They were already a very good team before Thomas Muller. But Thomas Muller come in and pulled them up and said, hey, let's wake up, guys. Let's play like we did back in May, back when we got to the Champions Cup. And they did. It revitalized them. They already had Brian White, Ryan Gould, Atakubi, Ali Ahmed. They're already a good team. They just had on a world-class player. Aging, but still. Miami don't know how to build a team. They just let Messi handle all of it. And then Messi's name handled the rest. So in the end, it's still him. I mean, he re-signed until 2028. He's still probably going to play a couple of years in Argentina, I would assume. So, yeah, I think he'll probably go back to Argentina to play with Newell's and then retire after that. Whether it be a year or two, I think he will go back to play at his boyhood club. So, you're probably right about that. Just not MLS. He ain't going to stay in MLS until or after 2028. I don't see that being the case. 43rd minute. He'll be 41 in 2028, though. Acting like that means anything. I mean, look at LeBron James. Look at Tom Brady. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo. Look at, well, is there anybody that old? Albert Pujols before he retired. Yeah, there we go. Look at Clayton Kershaw. Look at, was CC that old when he retired? Or, I don't know. Yachty? Yachty wasn't that old. Adam Wainwright? Save. Oh, they might actually play knockout stages of the League's Cup in Mexico. I'll believe that when I see it. 44th minute. I will believe that when I see it. I wonder where you read that. I'll believe it where you see it, when I see it. Should they do it? Yes. Would I believe it? Do I believe it till I see it? I don't believe it till I see it. Oh, yeah, okay. NFL, that's what I was looking for. 45th minute. And Chargers winning 31-10. Could have told you. Well, I did pick them, but still. Goal kick, 45th minute. Does Jorge Mas really think 41-year-old Messi will bring him MLS Cup and Champions Cup? No, 4 minutes of stoppage time, but he knows they'll bring him money, and that's what he cares about. Jorge Mas wants the money. But for me, no, he wants the money. He's a guy who just wants the money. So no, I don't think if the trophies come, well, good. Good, but it's about the money. It ain't about the play, it's about the money. Always. Playing forward, 47th minute. Suzuki has 12 assists, only 1 goal. I think he'll get more points, but his goal total might go down a bit. Suzuki will have like 30, but Suzuki's still on a 100-point pace. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, 13 points, but it's only 1 goal. I mean, it doesn't matter how you get them as long as you get them, but I expected more like, at this point, like 7 and 7 or something like that. 7 points, 7 assists, or 7 goals, 7 assists. I didn't expect it to be 12 and 1. 12 assists, 1 goal, but hey. Oh. No, I've never heard. I've heard of the podcast. I haven't heard of the guy, but okay. Again, I'll believe it when I see it. Not to discredit him, but not to discredit him or his sources, but I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. Or I'll believe it when I hear it from freaking Hurt Gomez or something like that. Gil Dos Santos, I think he retired quietly, yeah. He had to have retired. 1 more minute of stoppage time, 0-0, settle. I think Messi is done after the World Cup with Argentina. I think 2026 is his last. I would say his last competitive tournament with Argentina. Do I think Messi will finish out the year with Argentina doing goodbye matches? Yes. Yes, I do. Whether they win the tournament or not. I think Messi will finish 2026 doing goodbye matches after the World Cup with Argentina. And then they save. And then they don't have him for the Copa or the next World Cup after 2026, the 2030 World Cup. So I don't think he plays the Copa either. Isn't Copa America next year? You mean 2028? 26 World Cup, 28 Copa America. But no, I think Messi doesn't play the 28 Copa America with the national team. But that's just my opinion. I mean, there's a possibility of the 2028 Olympics. I feel like there's a possibility of that. 45th minute, 0-0, halftime, settle, middle tiempo. Really rough and tumble game so far here. But I could see that being a possibility. Like, I could see Messi not playing a senior game with Argentina post 26, but I could see Messi doing one last swan song at the LA Olympics with the U23s if they qualify. I could see that happening. Him as an overage player playing with the U23s, I could see that happening. Sort of similarly to I don't think Di Maria did, but there was a slight, did he? I know there was talk about it, but it's either it was a talk or it did happen. I'm trying to remember. I think I'm getting Streisand effect. No, that's not Streisand. Mandela affected. My bad. But I could see it. I mean, I'd like to see pro rel college soccer. That'd be interesting. I'd like to see how it turns because of it. With that being said, but we'll have a short break at the half. We'll talk about the stats, get this one going. 0-0, settle. Well, if they're already convincing him to. But do I think after World Cup 26 or after the calendar year 26, do I think Messi will play for the senior Argentinian team? No. Will he play 28 Olympics with the U23s? Yes. Now that we're talking about it, I will say. I think his swan song, his true swan song with the Argentinian team, 20 years, is a 20 years later, can he get another gold at the Olympics? But this time, shepherding their U23s. Because let's not forget, Beijing 2008, he won the gold. Yes, he did. I think. I think he won an Olympic gold. Maybe I'm confusing that with like the U17 World Cup or something that was in Toronto. Yeah, I think he would rather play in LA. How we doing, William? With that being said, we'll take a short break at the half, talk about the stats. Am I getting things confused? Either way. Sit tight, I'll be back. 0-0 at the half, settle mito tiempo. We will be back. Very rough game. We'll talk about the stats and get this one going. Sit tight. 0-0, settle. Back for the stats of the half. Okay. Well, they're not doing too bad, actually. Well, I mean, if they won the Europa League, they probably could win the Conference League. I mean, it'd be funny if they didn't. Stats of the half, 51% possession to 50%. Well, it's 50.5 to 49.5, but $51 to 48% possession. That's a good point. 0 offside to 1, 1 corner to 2, 1 interception to 4, 182 pass to 176, 81% pass accuracy to 80% pass accuracy. We have, we'll leave those. Goals 0 to 0, 6 shots to 9, 2 shots on goal to 2. We'll have 9 tackles to 14, 19 clearances to 11, 5 fouls to 8, 1 yellow card to 1, 0 red cards to 0, 0-0 at half, 0-0 middle tiempo. For me, I think Olimpia is the better team on the night. I do. But it's a very rough and tumble game. I think Alajuelense seems to want it more. I think Olympia's had their chances. Well, it was really just the shots that made it look better. Fair enough. No, Alajuelense, my bad. Alajuelense. Olimpia has more shots, but Alajuelense looks like the team who wants it more in general. But it's a very rough and tumble game. Olympia is surviving on the road. I think ever since about the 20th minute, their game plans become survive on the road, win at home. So they're doing that. I think Alajuelense is trying to land a big punch to try to change the outcome of this tie. I would say I was surprised that he had productive years at America after he left Galaxy because he was washed at the Galaxy. I wouldn't say they were amazing years, but they were productive, which that was better than what I expected. We're going to go from MLS to Liga MX. With that being said, we're getting ready for the second half. Here we go. Craichel Perez is on for the second half. Yes, he is. Craichel Perez is on for the second half for Alajuelense. For Olimpia, doesn't seem to be any changes, but we'll keep an eye on it. Well, we got 45 more minutes. 0-0, 0-0. Here we go. They can't handle our speed. 5-3 new hook for the Habs. Well, good for them. Habs are, I think the Habs can win the Atlantic. Unless they have like a midseason swoon. Yeah, here's the thing with that. The O&M Sabao game got taken out by rainfall from Tropical Storm Melissa. The outer rain bands of the storm. They were overcovering the island. So the game was postponed to next week, which makes zero sense anyway. Next Thursday. So unless the storm is north of the islands, the heart of the islands by Thursday, I could see it getting postponed again. And also the second leg between Mount Pleasant and Defense Force is going to be played on a Wednesday in Jamaica. And that's exactly when the storm should be hitting Jamaica and taking that northward northward turn as a Category 4 or 5. So that game seems to probably be – the sad thing about that is the tie's pretty much over. You could just say the tie's over after one leg and not even worry about it. But so tropical weather knocked out the other game. The reason it didn't knock out the Trinidad or Defense Force games because the game was in Trinidad. The reason it didn't knock this out is because it's in the heart of the Caribbean. It's not going to hit Central America. There are models or there are steering currents that seem to have some tropical storm winds hitting the Florida Keys from this storm. I hope that's just the outer rain bands when it turns north. But the way they wrote out that tropical storm winds graph kind of scares me. I won't lie. That maybe whatever was supposed to turn away from Florida does not come. And it just goes north into Florida instead. Splits the difference. 34-10 for the Chargers versus the Vikings. That game will be over in 2:47. We'll mark that one down. 0-0, settle. So I would hope. Huh. So we'll see what happens. So tropical weather knocked out one of them. Damn, Chicago beat Tampa. 47th minute. Tampa does suck, don't they? Playing forward. Alajuelense gets back on the ball. Barring a loan transfer, Alex Freeman, Diego Luna, Jack McGlynn, and Matt Turner will not play another competitive match until late February 2026, 4 full months from now. Not ideal for the USMNT heading into a World Cup. 48th minute. That's a nice stat. Olimpia going wide. Ball crossed in. Once the review of this game's up, the streams will come up quickly after that for the next 3 days. The 5 streams. That being World Series Game 1 and 2, Formula 1, Mexico, Grand Prix, and then the 2 MLS streams for Sunday. The Blue Jays are batting .296 this postseason while averaging 6.45 runs per game. The highest batting average since the 2007 Red Sox, 2.96. Cross in, that's out for a player down hurt. Alajuelense player got heavily pushed by Benguche on the corner. Looks like they'll be able to take the corner anyway. The other 11 teams that made the postseason are batting combined 2.218. Habs killed it. Well, good. Puck don't lie. 49th minute. Cross in, header cleared. Carrier shadowed McDavid so well. Shot saved. If this game ends up 0-0, I'm just going to move on and make the streams instead of reviewing it. Playing forward, 50th minute. Which team's playing better? I would say Alajuelense wants it more, but they're playing at home. Olimpia basically changed their plan to survive and win at home. That's basically what they did. Ball cleared away. Your thoughts on Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau being together? I don't give a shit. May happiness find them. I do not give a shit. Doesn't surprise me, though, that Katy Perry, who flew into space for 5 minutes with Jeff Bezos' wife, is now trying to society climb with Justin Trudeau. So, I mean, it's not like he's ugly. I mean, she could have done worse. I mean, Katy Perry, if she wanted to socially climb with a former politician or a current politician, she could have done worse. Very much worse. I mean, at least Justin Trudeau isn't ugly and old. It's probably like the only thing he has going for him, frankly. But either way. I believe they're cringe. I mean, from pop diva to some sort of high socialite thing, I don't know what she's trying to do. Like, being a pop star, being a big pop star versus a giant socialite a la Clooney's wife is a different thing. Like, Katy Perry wants to make herself look like she's serious and an amazing socialite, not a pop diva. I wouldn't say Taylor Swift because she's actually talented. Even though I don't think Taylor Swift stands for shit that she says she does. Not that that matters to me. I don't give a shit. But I think Taylor Swift stands for whatever her boyfriend stands for. Or fiance now. Like, it's a wonder. When she was such a big liberal, who was she dating? A big liberal British guy who was a very artistic poet. Now she's dating a meathead who, I mean, I like Travis, but let's be real. Travis is a meathead who doesn't know anything but football. She's starting to act more like a trad wife. Does that make any sense? And that's not really anything against Taylor either. I'm just making a point. Pretend you didn't hear what? I didn't say anything wrong. I don't think so. I was making a point. What does Livy Dunn stand for? I don't know and I don't give a shit. I'm a happy man. I don't know and I don't give a shit. I'm a happy man. I don't need to give a shit about what Livy Dunn stands for. Frankly, I don't give a shit what Taylor Swift or Katy Perry stand for. I could care the hell less. I'm a happy man. I don't need to look at the world, so to speak. I'm doing just fine. I'm doing just fine. '54th minute. I don't know why I sounded so angry when I was saying that, because I'm not. Maybe it's because I don't care about the famous celebrities. I really don't. Just because I know the tea doesn't mean I care. You hear enough of it, you're going to be able to know it. Again, I'm very happy that I'm a happy man. I don't care about the outside world is more where I was. You can care about it. I don't. I don't need to care. I don't need to care. I just want what makes me happy. I just want what makes me happy. And that's it. Let me have my football, the music that I listen to, and the people, well, my best friends and the people I love. When I say people, I mean best friends, family, and, well, yeah, of course. The person that makes me happy, very happy. And leave me the hell alone. Let me do what let me live under my football painted rock with the people I love and just let it be. That's where I stand. I'm good. Cross in and that's out. Well, I mean, I have, of course, you're watching my channel. I'm glad that you're here. But what I meant by that was nothing to, what's the word? There was nothing to slight my fans, but I'm talking about, like, I will, if you got a problem, I'll hear it out and try to help you. I'll do that because I care about y'all and I'm glad you're here. But I'm talking about, like, celebrities. I could give a shit. I could give a shit less about shit that I don't care about. I don't care about the hottest movie because I ain't gonna fucking watch it. I don't care about the new hottest musician, new hottest actress or musician in the world. I don't care. I'm happy. I don't need to look at them. I don't give a shit what they're doing. Unless I listen to that genre of music or I want to see that movie before anything else, or it's a movie genre that I like. Like, okay, Ella Langley, all right? Yeah, she's beautiful. I don't give a shit about that. She makes good music, and I listen to country music. Would I give a shit about Ella Langley if I didn't listen to country music? I would not give a shit about her. For example. It's a little more than that, but okay. There's a little bit more than that, but okay. 57th minute. There's a little bit more than that. I mean, there's Formula One. It's tracking hurricanes and severe weather. Playing forward. That's my point. Hockey, the Leafs. Country, metal, and 90s, 2000s hip hop. Maybe early 2010s. Hip hop now sucks, but I do love, well, you could call Billy Joel a rocker. You could call him rock. Rock/metal. Country, rock/metal. Whether it's new or old. And then 90s to like early 2010s hip hop. But current hip hop sucks ass. It just does. Except for like random songs. Playing forward. So do that what you will. 59th minute, 0-0, settle. Yeah, I would agree with that. But, I mean, I like even current rock/metal. There's more current rock and metal that I like than current hip-hop. So that's why I kind of put the line on the hip-hop part of things. 59th minute. '60th minute. Paz off for, well, it's Hernandez for Lukumi, and Paz is off as well. Corner for Alajuelense. But But I guess point is, if I could just, whether I was a coach or my YouTube was making all the money in the world, if I could just live on a farm with the person I love, or travel with them, or do both, but and not have to worry about anything else, A-okay. 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 Playing forward. Are you hoping a goal is scored in this? Yeah, because I don't think y'all need to hear me complain about, like, I just let me complaining about, just let me live under my damn football painted rock with the people I love and let it be. I don't think you need to hear me complaining about that. 61st minute. I just started listening to music. The two best albums I've heard so far is Nas, Illmatic, Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion 2. Do you have any album recommendations for me? Well, it's not an album, but I'm not logged into my Spotify on the computer. Okay. Billy Joel. Anything Billy Joel, really. Like Stormfront, that's a good album. River of Dreams. The Stranger. 78th Street. I think it was 78th Street. That was what My Life was on, I think. Any Billy Joel album, really. Any of them. Well, Street Life Serenade, that ain't bad either. Just listen to Billy Joel's whole catalog. Listen to Billy Joel's whole catalog. 62 minutes. Just listen to Billy Joel's whole catalog. In my opinion, 62 minutes. But my main point is, I'm happy my eyes don't wander, and I'm good with that. If that's the main point, that's the main point. $63rd minute. $63rd minute. Why do you think I root for the Steelers? Or bandwagon them? What do you think I do? Either way. Y'all, I know you can't add 2 plus 2 together, but I know you can't add 2 plus 2 together, or you suck at word problems, but, you know. Come on, are y'all that blind? Or do you just not listen? 63rd minute. Nil. Either way. Playing Ford's Olimpia. Ran over with. Or whatever that was. Whatever you want to call it. I'm done. Call me Unc all you want. Call me an old soul who doesn't give a shit. Just wants to be. Doesn't. Oh, it's over. Why is Google so slow? Chargers beat the Vikings. That's going to go wide. And I hope their goalie isn't hurt. Isn't. But, let's mark that as a check. Chargers win. There we go. Well, as of now, there's no reason for me to review this game. Goalie down hurt, 65th minute, 0-0. Have I heard that one? I don't think so. or full on. Maybe I've heard a song off of it, but full on, I don't think I have like listened to the whole album. I know I don't have the CD for that one. I know I don't. Yeah, I want blockbusters to come back. I wish malls were still cool. I still want physical media. That's where I am. Call me an unk all you want. I don't care. If that's where you want to go with it. '66 minute. Oh. Reeves fought Matt Rempe. Playing forward. Cleared away. I mean, I wouldn't call that a fight. 0-0, 67th minute. '67th minute. ChatGPT predicted Blue Jays in 7. What is your prediction? Oh, okay. This is a good one. I either way, my heart and head, they both say the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays have a way better chance, and I've basically talked myself into it. I think the Blue Jays have a way better chance than people give them credit for. And I deep down believe the Toronto Blue Jays are going to pounce on the LA Dodgers. I do. I think they are going to. History will favor the Blue Jays on the fact that they went 7 and the Dodgers did not. The Dodgers, I think they're believing their own hype. I think they've been way too rested when it comes to not playing. Baseball's a rhythm sport. I think they believe their own hype. And I think the Blue Jays' strengths play in well to what we think the Dodgers' strengths are. Again, they have 4 aces. We're going to face 4 aces, but every time the Jays face an ace, they make him bow. They make them bend the knee. And that Dodgers bullpen sucks. I say the Blue Jays, very, very optimistically, I say Blue Jays in 5. Probably more realistically, Blue Jays in, they'll get it back to Toronto, but Blue Jays in 6. I think the Blue Jays are going to quickly, they're going to know if they jump on the Dodgers and get an early lead in the series, they cannot relent. Because if they do, they cannot give the Dodgers any opening. And by giving them an opening, I mean 2 or 3 wins. If they win 1 game, that's just baseball. It's going to be very hard to sweep the Dodgers. I do not think the Jays are going to do that. If this series ends in 5, on the contrary to what everybody else believes, I think the Jays are going to be the ones who end it in 5. If the series ends in 5 in LA, it's going to be because the Jays won it. I do not think the Dodgers win this in 5 either. If this goes beyond 5, then I think that's when the Dodgers have a possibility to start winning this competition or this World Series. I don't think the Dodgers are going to sweep the Jays. I don't think the Dodgers are going to beat the Jays in 5. The only way this series ends in 5, I think there is no possibility for a sweep. I don't think so. If you think there's a sweep, you're either believing the hype of the Dodgers or you are biased towards the Dodgers. I've never seen a Jays fan say Jays in 4 because they know this will not be a sweep. Or you're somebody who doesn't know ball and you're just like, well, the Dodgers are the Dodgers. Yeah, you don't know shit. But it's either or. I think the Jays, if there is a 5-game series, it's because the Jays won it. I don't think the Dodgers are going to win this 4-1. I think if this series ends in 5, it's because the Jays jumped on the Dodgers and realized that you probably shouldn't let them get back up off the mat. I think that's where we are. Game 6, if this goes 6 or 7, then the Dodgers can win. Then I think that's where the Dodgers have their chance of winning. I'm not saying the Jays can't win a 6 or 7 game series, but ironically enough, I think the longer this series goes, the more likely that's when you could see a Dodgers win. I don't think the Dodgers win 4 or 5. I don't. Again, I don't think either team sweeps. I don't think this series will end in 4 either way. Would I be happy if the Jays somehow pulled that off? Yes. Do I think the Dodgers are going to sweep the Jays? No, they're not going down that easily. Will the Jays win in 5? I could see that possibly happening with the way they play. They win the Savage, Gausman, and Bieber starts. They lose the Scherzer start. They win Gausman's Savage's second start. Because Savage, then Gausman. Yeah, then they win Savage's second start, and then it's over. Gausman will go 6. Bieber would go 7, if there's a 7. But realistically, Jays in 6. I think the Jays win this series, though. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, Jays are going to win this series. It's just a matter of when. And I'm kind of pulling for a Game 5 win for the Jays for reasons. But other than that, we're going to see. 73 minutes, 0-0, settle. I think the Blue Jays, Jays in 5, if I'm being, my heart says Jays in 5 for multiple reasons. Realistically, Jays in 6, but Jays win the series. I am legitimately sure, whether I should be or not, the Blue Jays will win the World Series. Cleared away, 73rd minute. The Jays are winning the World Series. I am sure. For some reason, I am heavily and utterly sure the Toronto Blue Jays are going to win the World Series. I like our chances. I shouldn't be this sure, but I am. Ball crossed in. Header. Shot. Goal. Olimpia finally scores. 1-0 for Olimpia. 0-1. There it is. There it is. 0-1, 0-1. Olimpia gets the goal. And that is what they needed. Montiel scores the goal. Ball crossed in. He pops it in. There you go. 0-1. Ball crossed in. Headed on. Montiel's at the edge. I don't know if he's onside. I mean, if that's an own goal, it might be. Did defender play him on? That might have been an own goal, actually, by Alajuelense. Marcos Montiel, and it counts. Olimpia leads. Frankly, if this game doesn't start turning absolutely crazy, I'm just not going to do a review tonight. 1-0 ain't enough. 0-1, 0-1. I need some crazy moments to turn this into a review, in my opinion. Yes. 76 minute, but I'll still finish this game off. 0-1, 0-1. Review. But we'll get going. And we'll push on, and we'll be live tomorrow for game 1 of the World Series. I swear to God, no. Don't. I hope Drake does not show up. But you know what? Forget the Drake curse. I still believe the Blue Jays will win. They can't be cursed by him because you know what? Vladdy walked into the Sky Dome wearing an Austin Matthews sweater, and they still won Game 7. Probably made it tougher than it should have been, but you know how I know it's a team of destiny? Vladdy walked into the Sky Dome wearing an Austin Matthews sweater. He won ALCS MVP, and the Jays went to the World Series. It's probably tougher than it should have been. Gave us some bad BABIP luck for 7 innings until George Springer hit the home run, but you know what? No, this team's a team of destiny. Because if wearing an Austin Matthews sweater walking into a Game 7 and you still win, you know what? We're going to win the World Series. Screw it. This is a team of destiny. More I think about it, you know what? That's a good point. Blue Jays are going to win the World Series. This team's a team of destiny. Drake curse ain't going to do shit. Who'd he bet on for Game 7? Either way, no curse could break down the Leafs. Or the Jays. The Jays. My bad. The Jays. The Leafs suck right now. The Jays. No curse could break down the Jays because they are a team of destiny. The Toronto Blue Jays are a team of destiny. They're going to win the World Series. If we weren't a team of destiny, Vladdy wearing that Austin Matthews jersey would have been an absolute failure. We would have lost. This Jays team is a team of destiny. Worst to first, World Series champions. Well, American League champions right now, but we're going to be the World Series champions. They literally helped the Oilers to win. Weren't y'all leading 5-3? What the hell? Weren't y'all leading by 2? What the hell happened? I could see the rest part. What the hell happened? I smell corruption. Hold on. What, you think Colin Campbell had anything to do with it? Colin Campbell should never be in the Hall of Fame. Colin Campbell. Well, why would he? Colin Campbell. Playing forward, cleared away. But yeah, I think with the way this game's going, I'm just going to make the streams for the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and be on my way. '79th minute, ball crossed in, header, cleared. But, yeah. World Series Game 1 tomorrow. We're less than 24 hours away. I feel like Gatsby. Drown me in the bay. Drown Me in the Bay. Mr. Gatsby at 7 a.m. Today's the day. Yeah, that reference didn't hit. But you're saying the Jays are going to win and you're scared. I think they will. It's the Dodgers. Here's the problem. Like, even though you know it's the Dodgers, you still can't really measure the fuckery of the Dodgers being the Dodgers. 10 minutes. I don't know. Denver beat Golden State. Nice. I hope the Jays treat the Dodgers like Golden State got treated by the Toronto Raptors in 2019. $82 minutes. Jokic putting on a show. Lopez on for Pinto. And Moncada on for Chirinos. I mean, I'm sure Jokic is putting on a show. How could Denver win without him? No disrespect, but no disrespect, but 83rd minute. No, I do not. Like, no. And like telling the mafia that you're, or co-conspirators on the betting, that your players, there's not these injuries, that these are private injuries that aren't told to people. Like when they say upper body injury, they tell, like the coach told what exactly the injury is. No, because here's the thing. Pete Rose, you don't gamble on the game as a player. You don't. Now, you don't gamble on the game as a player or a coach. And Pete Rose did that. Look what happened to him. We've known this for decades. You don't gamble on the game, coach or player. Look at the Cleveland Guardians. Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz, if I'm correct. They gambled on the game. They're out of the league. They can't even play Winter League. The Dominican Winter League banned them from playing winter ball while being under investigation for the gambling. Their gambling probe. Not connected to the FBI, but still. Like, that's the unwritten, well, not just unwritten, that's the one big rule about sports. You don't bet on the game as a player or a coach. You've known this for years. I don't have sympathy for players or coaches who bet and get caught doing it and then kicked out of the sport. I have no sympathy. Because you should know going into the sport, the Pete Rose rule. Don't gamble. But that, it's kind of ironic nowadays, because then you have the leagues having so many gambling ads on their games, it's not even funny. But again, that's for the consumer. And those are legal betting sites. But, well, who's to say? 85th minute. Shot off the crossbar. Who's to say? Well, that just goes without saying. that was probably more of the mafia's part of it, because I think it was a betting ring connected to Cosa Nostra, the mafia. That was probably more of the mafia's thing, but they've been doing that since the 70s, if not longer. Dude, they talked about rigged poker games on The Sopranos and The Godfather and Goodfellas. They scraped some off the top from everybody who's in it on the buy-in. Do you not watch mafia movies? Like, this is, like, that's the most normal shit. I think it's more the illegal betting than the poker games. Because, yes, is it money laundering? Yes. Is it stealing money? Yes. But I think it's more the betting than the poker. But the poker does break some law. But I think they're more worried about the illegal betting. The only good thing Adam Silver ever did was ban Donald Sterling from the NBA. Adam Silver is a horrible commissioner. Adam Silver is a horrible NBA commissioner. David Stern was a better commissioner. But here's the thing about Adam Silver. You can't say he's a horrible commissioner because the first thing he ever did was ban Donald Sterling, rightfully so, from the NBA. And he's lived off that for what, 10, 12 years now? And also the fact that compared to Rob Manfred, Roger Goodell, and Gary Bettman, Adam Silver ain't so bad compared to the rest of them. Hell, even Don Garber. Like, if you told me pick one commissioner to say you hate the least, it would probably be Adam Silver. Because Roger Goodell's a clown. And that's a goal for Alajuelense! Tie game! 1-1! Fitting score. I would agree with that. Honestly, I think he does a good job. 1-1, 1-1. Broncos. 1-1, 1-1. That goal was from Hernandez. Hernandez scores the goal. What a shot. Top of the box. He just takes a shot. There was no chance for Menjivar to get that. 1-1, 1-1. Fair score. I would say that's a fair score for this match. I would say that's a fair score. Anthony Hernandez with a goal. I'd say that's a fair score. 1-1. 1-1's a fair final score. Now I'm just going to make the streams for the weekend. No review. $88 minutes. 1-1, 1-1. Goal for Herediano. They're not playing right now. Alajuelense. '89th minute. Now, if somebody scores a winning goal, maybe. 1-1 draw. We'll leave it be. Ball crossed in. Header. Oh, no. Horrible missed header. Oh. Playing forward. Olimpia. Olimpia with a chance. Top of the box blocked. Yeah, okay, better. 89th minute. Playing forward, headed away, 90th minute. I don't think they'll beat one of the Brazilian teams. I think they could beat Quito. So you know what? I want them to keep on going. I mean, LDU Quito, but LDU Quito beat a Brazilian team. I mean, it is Palmeiras without Estival. Esteval might be a world-class player. 5 minutes of stoppage time. You know what I just realized with Quito winning 3-0 over Palmeiras? Esteval might actually be a world-class player already. To be real. I mean, Esteval might just be that guy already. I mean, every time I've seen Esteval play for Chelsea, I think he's already been good enough. He might just be world-class already. Shot over the bar. I'm just saying. I mean, Lobo coming on for Olimpia, minute into stoppage time. I mean, I'd consider it one day. If I think it would make an entertaining book, I think I'd consider it. But do you think Cruzul could be Flamengo? No. I mean, after their recent form, they're not as bad as 7-0 against the Sounders, but they're not as good as they have been. They've fallen off a little bit. So as of now, if you're going by your October, September form, no. Late September, October form, no. They play the games for a reason, Risklander. They play the games for a reason. There's a reason why Quito just won tonight. They play their games for a reason. Any given Sunday, sir. 92 minutes. Any given Sunday. Playing forward. How about streaming CONMEBOL? Well, possible. What Palmeiras pull Liverpool? But we'll see how the second. Maybe. We'll see how the final goes and what schedule fits. 93 minutes. What schedule fits? Playing forward, wide, corner, 2 minutes to go. Either I'm behind or corner for Alajuelense. Crazy last 15 minutes or so. If there's a goal, that'll be enough to get a review out of me. But ball crossed in. Header. No, there was not. 94th minute block. Caught by Menjivar. Plays it forward. Here comes Olimpia. 1 minute to go. 1-1, 1-1. Playing forward. '95th minute ball. Shot. Save. Oh, he ran straight into him. Hey, it's worth a shot. Pretty damn sure that probably would have been called. And it's full time. Less than 5 minutes. Full time. 1-1. 1-1 esta noche. Fair score line. And no review. Fair scoreline and no review. With that being said, 1-1 draw between these two teams. Very hard-fought game until the last 15 minutes. Got a bit crazy. And we move on to the next piece of business. No review tonight because, one, I got to make the streams. It's late. I'm tired. One draw? Yes. So we'll get it going. But with that being said, we'll see you later. Well, that's cool. I'll see you later. The streams will be up soon for the weekend. I will see you tomorrow at 7 Central, 8 Eastern for Game 1 of the World Series. Dodgers at Blue Jays. Savage versus Snell. I'll see you tomorrow. Let history begin. Let us witness it. I'll see you tomorrow. And then Game 2 Saturday, Sunday, Formula 1 Mexico Grand Prix just alive. Then 2 MLS games, Vancouver versus Dallas, Portland RSL on Sunday night on the off day between games 2 and 3. With that being said, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See ya.